Gator, this year, 2022, I think there's maybe a handful of like good movies me and you have watched. The Northman, Top Gun, Maverick. I think those two really come to mind when we think about great movies. But a great movie that seems to be, and I should say, those two movies are in our community online or, fandom. People have been praising these two movies, and rightfully so. But one movie that is amazing, that no one seems to be talking about, that gets rare recognition for its greatness and its pure masculinity.
Here it comes.
Is RRR.
Yes.
Me and you have done now a couple videos on it because we can't stop talking about this. It is so good. And it almost like boggles the mind when you don't see thank you. When you don't see that many people talking about it. It's almost like a alien spaceship's outside your house. And then you turn on the news and no one's talking about the alien spaceship. And you're going, someone needs to talk about this alien spaceship. It's right outside. Everyone can see it. Or maybe no one's looking up because it's on Netflix. It's very easily accessible, yet no one wants to talk about it. And I would just ask everyone right now that's listening, please smash that like button, subscribe. We're going to try to push out the good word of RRR through our channel because everyone needs to see this movie. But I got a question for you, Gator. Why is nobody talking about RRR?
Dude, I don't know. This could be, there's a couple of reasons, I think. Well, first of all, back to what you said about good movies coming out this year. I totally agree. We've had actually a great year for movies. This is way better than last year, in my opinion. And last year was pretty decent, too. But this year, I think one you left out was The Batman. And even though it wasn't the best movie of all time, right, it is really good. And I think the thing is, a lot of people aren't on board with the 3-hour movie era, the era of 3-hour stories. I am all in. You and me just rewatched Braveheart yesterday.
Yes.
That's a 3-hour movie, and it's a great movie. It has plenty of time for you to sit with everything that's in there and develop it. We even have basically a fourth act in that movie that hits great, and it's because of that long runtime. I'm not here to talk about Braveheart. I'm here to talk about RRR. I think a lot of people aren't sold on it. I think they might see that 3-hour runtime and shy away from it, even though you can split it up and watch it in multiple parts. I know I don't like to do that with movies. I want to watch it all at once. And I think a lot of people are like that as well, but they don't want to sit for 3 hours long. It's just an attention span thing in a lot of situations. When I watched this on Netflix, I think you and me both watched it within a few days of each other. It was close to when it first came out on Netflix. It was number 10 on popularity. And I'm not sure if they take into consideration India when they rank that, or if this is just regionally United States. But regardless, it was only on that top 10 that I saw for one day. And even on that top 10, it was the 10th in the list, the least popular in the top 10. And then it was gone. I don't understand how that could be because this movie is so fucking good. In my opinion, to answer your question, it's got to be an attention span issue, sitting through the 3 hours, or I guess people not wanting to read subtitles. I can't think of anything else it could be because this thing's a hit. The thing that's really strange to me, though, is that our own friend group, like for any other listeners out there, or for any listeners out there, me and Don have a pretty large friend group that we keep in contact with. And it's crazy how few people we can get to watch this movie. Virtually nobody.
Virtually
nobody.
Yeah, one of our friends, he's gotten halfway through it, and we were supposed to come on and talk about it, but we had some technical difficulties about it. But yeah, he has watched halfway through it because I don't know how much time he has to dedicate to watching entertainment, 3 hours in one night, whatever. But yeah, and so far he loves it. So I mean, you get them in, and you get them into the first part of the first half. Was that the first 6? And they'll love it. So we got him hooked. But other than that, like you're saying, Gator, yeah, no one will watch it.
Right, no one will watch it. I think that's a testament to how difficult it actually is, because I understand, dude, your average YouTuber, I'm not going to watch a 3-hour movie that some random YouTuber recommends. I just won't. Very little chance that I will. But if I have a close friend that recommends this to me and it's 3 hours, dude, I know you, I know your taste, you're going to like this movie. I'd be like, all right, I mean, I'll check it out for sure. But the fact that we can't even get that from our own close friends, I think it's just amplified throughout society. No one's watching it. That's why no one's talking about it. And it's a real shame.
Yeah, and I think a part of it as well, like you're saying, the attention span of it, that people can't sit down and watch 3 hours, I can almost get because it's a movie. I wonder if it'd be different if it was a series, because people watched Squid Game, right?
Yes.
Squid Game, you had a lot of people who said, I only watched the subbed version of it, not the dubbed. So people people chose to read that series and sat down and loved it. And they're like, yo, this is so good. I want to watch more Korean entertainment, right? So there is that part of our culture that is willing to go that step for great content. I'm wondering if it is part of it, which is a broader like question, I guess, in all of Western entertainment or audience, is it like the fear of missing out a huge part of this? And because not enough people are speaking about RRR, that's why not enough people are watching RRR. And it's like this constant feedback loop, right? Where no one's talking about it, so no one watches it. No one talks about it, so no one's watching it. And that's the reason why you get all the Marvel stuff is the fear of missing out, right? Like everyone wants to, like, oh, I have to.
You gotta be part of the culture, yeah.
Yes, and the Kenobi. So, what do you think about that as the reason why?
I think that's definitely it could be a reason why, but at some point it has to gain enough traction for somebody. Like, you'd think it would have by now. That's what I'm saying. You think there would have gained enough traction in some circles to start breaking this loop. And don't get me wrong, there are people that are talking about this movie, but it's still really, really niche. And I don't understand how that's a thing. You said the thing about series. What's so funny about that too, I agreed with you at first, but now I don't think so. I don't think it would help at all if it was a series, because we literally live in binge culture. You know, how many people say, time to binge shows? That's what people do. Everybody binges TV shows. When you say binge, you don't say, oh, I'm going to watch 1.5 episodes. Like, like an hour and 5 minutes of TV. It's like, no. You're watching 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe a whole season in one day. And that is way longer than this movie. There's no excuse.
Yeah, also, Stranger Things came out, which is a thing everyone binged. And like you said, people just sat down and watched it because, again, the fear of missing out. And it has an established IP. That might be it as well, because this is a brand new IP. It might have the similar uphill battle the Northman had. But this is very Western and commercial friendly content, RRR is. Unlike, you'd say, the Northman, because the Northman, I remember when I saw that, people in the theater next to me were like, oh my goodness, that's like, they were so disappointed by that movie. Because I'm sure it was just like I wasn't expecting this kind of movie. Yeah,
what?
Yeah, because they weren't expecting. Well, because it was somewhat advertised as kind of a more action or
true.
Violent movie, and they had these like slow establishing shots, and I loved it because I knew what I was getting into. But these people did not know what they're getting into. RRR does not have that problem. I'm saying is you get into it, it's high action, great acting, great visuals. You could say, oh, the CGI isn't there. It's like, okay, calm down there, dude. Pretend like Obi-Wan Kenobi and
She-Hulk.
Doctor Strange. Yeah, She-Hulk is like putting out their best.
Yeah, that's true. Well, do you think that it would have helped this movie at all if it was in American theaters? And if so, like, do you think that would have really made the difference? Because I guess we'll kind of have to see when Brahmastra comes out, right? Like because that's coming out in American theaters.
Yeah, but I think I read something that was supposed to be, I think that's Bollywood, though. That's not it's the other faction within. Yeah, comment down below what that other. I think it's people sometimes call it Tollywood, but other people don't like it being called Tollywood. It's like Telugu something, whatever. But it's this other subsection of Indian cinema,
right?
That
there's the two
RRR is
sides.
and Rajamouli is, and this is something else. So whatever.
Yeah, I think it's another option. That could be a deciding factor, because I do wonder, like the Northman, for example, advertising for that was so bad. So maybe that's all it is too. Maybe they just need more marketing for RRR and Western audiences. Have you seen a single advertisement for this thing online, like on social media? Because
Chris Gore is the #1 mouthpiece for RRR.
Well, I'm talking about like algorithmically, like on Facebook and stuff. Yes. Because normally, if you talk about something, like you and me, we've had extended conversations about this. Tell me my smartphone's not listening to our conversation right now and trying to cater ads to me for later. I've never seen anything about Indian cinema. So I think maybe that's it too. Maybe advertising does work.
I wonder if RRR is just not like a good title for it, right? So that your phone can't pick it up. Maybe whatever Rajamouli needs to think of a name that the whatever NSA can pick up on my phone easier.
Yeah, no shit. That could be. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know how much more you really have to say about this. But what does this movie have that the people wouldn't want to see? I don't understand. We like superhero movies now, Marvel, DC, Star Wars. It's so popular in today's culture. This has all that and more. This has over-the-top action. This has relationship building like we've honestly never seen. It's so over-the-top in all the right ways. The action is great. It's just a plethora of good things. I don't see how every single person and their mom and grandma and grandpa are not watching this movie right now. I want to watch it right now.
Yeah, well, let's just pause this right now and go watch it real quick.
Yep.
Come back to this.
We'll reconvene.
One thing I think some YouTubers have built their channels, and I'm not saying like this is the only thing they do, but they do get a lot of views on hating current Hollywood stuff, and rightfully so. Hollywood has not been putting out great content. Like we just out of a whole summer of content that's been basically backed up because of the pandemic, you should be getting out a ton of content that's been like, basically on the shelf, right? But out of that, we got 2 things that we really liked, or 3, I should say, the Batman as well, right? Northman, Batman, and Top Gun, right? So you get 3 good things, and yeah, sure, you can shit on Hollywood a lot, and rightfully so, but it feels like so many people don't want to be, I don't know, praising things. And then if I can visualize it, it's like we're in a village, we go to this river, the Hollywood River, and we're like, this water is tasting nasty. Yes, there's some times in the day where it's not nearly as nasty. And then we're like, yo, dude, you got to check out this other river. It's a little further away, but it's great water. And they're like, yeah, but this water sucks. And you're like, I know it sucks. I know it sucks.
Yeah, but this water sucks. What a stupid argument. But you're right.
Yeah, they're like, people listen to me when I start talking about how this water sucks. I'm like, yes, I know. But you have to, I don't know, me and you, we love talking about things that we love and not just like sitting there and like, the reason why we get so angry about Marvel and Star Wars is because at one point we were like this about our love of those 2 properties was like how we love RRR right now. Just like, oh, I love it. Oh,
yeah, it's true. Yeah, we used to love this stuff, and then it just shit the bed. So that's exactly why now we find this property like RRR and Bahubali. Those are the 2 that we really like right now.
Yes,
that scratches that itch for us. It brings us back to like, holy shit, finally another perfect kind of. It's not really a franchise, but it feels like it's the same world. It's very similar. Yes. It's Rajamouli's style. And the same kind of thing is for The Northman, too. You would keep bringing that movie back up. The Northman scratched that itch for me as well. I have very little issues with that movie. And it's like, yes, this is what I want to see now. I want to see these long stories, just really high quality cinema. And there's no messaging in there that's just totally unnecessary. There's nothing cringe in it, too. And that's another thing I'll say about RRR and Bahubali. I think it's one of the biggest feats in cinema today where you can have something as over the top as it is, and I don't know how else to describe it besides over the top, yet not a hint of cringe. There's nothing embarrassing whatsoever. I don't even know how they did it, but it's perfect.
And I'm trying to think of the right way to put it, because you're right. It's over the top, but it's not over the top where you're like, holy shit, why do they do that? That's so dumb. Like well,
it's also not done for laughs. They are. It's not done for laughs either.
Spoiler alert. For Bahubali, but there's 2 amazing action set pieces they have, which is the big cloth, which you're like, this looks ridiculous. He's throwing the huge ass blanket over them, and you're like, this kind of looks funny, but then he's burning people alive from it. So you're like, okay, this is not played for
badass.
Like, I covered their heads real quick as like a funny little thing, right?
Right. Yes, and then
it's badass.
And then the other one, I think, in Bahubali Part 2, when they do these slingshots with the palm trees, dude, amazing. They form like little barrels with their shields. It's completely ridiculous. It's over the top in every single way. Like, it makes 300 look like nothing. It makes it look like absolutely nothing. And that movie was like intense and over the top for us, in the past.
Yes.
But it doesn't come off funny. I mean, I laugh when I see it in RRR, don't get me wrong, but I'm laughing out of like amazement. It's a totally different thing. I'm not laughing because it's funny. I don't know how to describe it, man. It's kind of beyond words, this little quality I'm talking about, but they hit it, and American cinema just can't do it, at least not today.
Hey, well, let us know what you think, why RRR is not being spoken about enough, why people are not praising this movie more so on the internet. Let us know down in the comments. Smash that like button and subscribe if you want to see more content like this.